Okay, so this is Ringwalk Media in association with Welleyes Therapy and Barclay Carter Racing. We're over here at the Boxer Show in Barnsley today. Bumped into a young man who's about to make his professional debut. Brandon Pickup, it's really nice to meet you.
Absolutely, mate. Pleasure to be here. Good to absorb the energy in, and pleasure doing an interview with you, Paul.
Well, listen, let's tell everybody a little bit about you. You've not gone straight into boxing. You were a rugby player, I believe, before.
Yeah, mate. So I was a professional rugby player. I played at Castleford Tigers. I played that since I was 6 years old. I started at Featherstone Rovers, then moved over to Castleford Tigers after that. And then I've come back into boxing. I boxed as an amateur as well. But I've found my true calling now. I'm back to boxing, and I'm going to give myself a good 10-year window, get in and get out, and do what I can.
Well, I've heard on the fly you did a bit of strongman stuff in between that.
Yeah. So I've also done some strongman. I've waited a long time to get into it. As a young kid, I was raring to go at about 10-year-old, but I waited it out a little bit. My dad said to me, get in when you're about 14 years old. So I got in when I was 14 years old, and then I built up my way up, and I was like 25 stone. So I got to like 25 stone, force feeding myself like 10,000 calories a day.
Wow.
Yeah. So 10,000 calories, a lot of food. Obsessive personality. So yeah, 10,000 calories a day, and now I've lost 10 stone to make my professional debut, which is next month, the 31st of October.
Well, I tell you what, mate, what a journey that is, isn't it?
Absolutely, mate. I'm looking really forward to it. Me and Jimmy first working together. We've been working together now for about 4 or 5 weeks. It's a blessing. Shout out to Vote Boxing as well. Latif, Dan, Joe, all supporting me very much, and I wouldn't be here in this position having this interview with you without them.
Listen, I was going to come to that. You're kind of trained under Jimmy first over in where is he? He's in Brighouse, isn't he? And he's got a new gym that's just opened, and Jimmy's got a wealth of knowledge, hasn't he?
He's got a wealth of knowledge, man. And the one thing I like about Jimmy is he proves the naysayers wrong. He got on a Sky Sports Sky Sports platform like this today, at an age that people require. People think that you're down and out and things like that. So it's good. Me and Jimmy have a lot in common, and I look forward to working with him moving forward. Can't wait.
We've been up into his gym and had a look, and he loves the amateurs, he loves the kids, but he's really, really passionate about the professional game. And to have someone like Jimmy in your corner, it's going to give you a lot of head starts, I think.
Yes, definitely, mate. I've got good leverage with these guys, Vote Boxing and Jimmy. He's been here, he's done it before. I've only had 4 amateur bouts and 2 off license. I've won them all, but I've had a lot of experience sparring and working my way up. So I'm looking forward to being around a good, solid team and being positive. The one thing I like about Vote Boxing and Jimmy in itself is very positive people. And I think in this game, it's brutal, it's tough mentally and physically. So you need that positivity to sort of like counteract the tough days and whatever else.
It was nice to see you bumping into Jack Massey on the way in. Might be a bit of sparring going on there.
I messaged him, I think like 2 years ago. I messaged him for some sparring, so I wanted to get in there and find a team when I was living over in Manchester. But we spoke today, and then I've got a way to go yet, but I've just stood beside him, and it's a good unit. Not as tall as I thought he'd be, but that's no disrespect. It's just the first time I've seen him today. That's all. So it'd be good sparring for me. I've seen him plenty of times, and I look forward to getting in with many other top level fighters eventually.
I'll tell you what, you're both towering over me. I'm only a short ass, but it's really nice to see that somebody new's coming through, and it's going to be sort of Jimmy's first professional under his own wing. He knows all the right people as well, so he'll take your career the right way. The small shows, get your nutrition right, and he really will give you a good go, won't he?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Like I said to you before, like Jimmy knows exactly what he's doing. He's been here before, and he'll put me in the right directions, and he'll manage me right, training wise, and not only training wise, but my management team as well. The right sparring at the right times, the right fights at the right times, and it's not about where you're at right now. It's about how you manage. Like you can say that, I have the potential to beat this guy right now, but it's a business as much as it is a sport, and you've got to play your cards right, and you've got to do the right thing, and you've got to know what to do in and outside the ring.
Well, listen, it's a very disciplined sport, and of course, being a former rugby player, there's a lot of discipline in that sport. Do you think that's going to help you in your journey?
Absolutely, mate. I think sports is all I've known. I've played rugby since I was 6 years old, and then I went on to play professional rugby after that. And I went delved into a bit of bodybuilding and sort of like I've always dieted, if you will. Looked after my body since I was like 10-year-old and started meal prepping around 12 years old for myself. I've never sort of been off the whole structured meal planning and things like that. I've never like let myself go. I've always trained. I've always looked after myself. So I think now, like I said to you at the start of this interview, 10-year window, get in and get out, give my all to this sport, and God willing, I get to the top.
So we're in Barnsley, like I say, for the Callum Simpson versus Zach Shelley sort of warm up, local warm up here. And when you see the setup like this, and you see Sky Sports cameras over your right shoulder, just give you a little bit of inspiration to try as hard as you can.
Yeah, that's the one thing. That's the one thing that I've realised with getting to any sort of top level in any sport is you've got to like get yourself involved in every area possible. That's the one thing I learned with rugby league is I was always going to the rugby games, the Super League games. I was always going to the grand finals. I was always being around the players. It's like act with him when you're without. You know what I'm trying to say? So you've got to act as though you're already here somewhat. You know, I'm not stupid. You know, I'm not here per se, but I visualize myself coming here and being in that ring and doing an open workout eventually myself in a few years' time and feeding off the fans' energy and building a fan base myself.
I'll tell you what, you've probably still got some fans from the rugby and the strongman stuff.
Yeah. That's it, mate. That's it. Hopefully it carries over. You know what this game is yourself when you're starting out. It can be difficult to start with, but I'm hoping people get behind me, get behind my story, and take me as a genuine kid who's just after making something about himself and getting to the top.
I'll tell you what, you can let me into your secret as how you lose 10 stone, because I could do losing a couple, mate.
For starters, mate, don't eat 10,000 calories. That's a good.
But that's easy, mate. It's chocolate and puddings.
Yeah. I were eating about 80% bad food, and just shoveling it in. It's very easy to get that 10,000 calories in eating that bad food. But I have an obsessive personality, so I would just shoving it in, and eating probably 4 o'clock in the morning and going to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, like I say, and just force feeding constantly, man, constantly.
That's because you had to, right, for the strongman stuff.
And that's one thing that about me is I do everything. I don't do things half measured. I do everything at 100%. With a strongman at 10,000 calories a day, it's a full-time job in itself, even to get that food and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, listen, we're looking forward to this journey. It's already been a colourful one, and no doubt with Jimmy in your corner, it's going to be even more colourful as you go through, mate.
Absolutely, mate. I look forward to a massive, exciting ride. The ups and downs, I'm here for it all. There's no, it's yin and yang in it. There's no good without bad. There's no bad without good. So let's get it.
Listen, you said that your debut is possibly in October?
October, it's next month, 31st of October, Barnsley Metrodome. I'm willing to going to put on a show, going to put on a big show. Excited, and I'm in there to get knockouts 100%.
Listen, if people want to come along and support you, can they tap you up on social media?
Yeah, social media. So my social media is pickup _power, or just search my name, Brandon Pickup, and you'll find me there. Instagram is my biggest sort of social media that I'm building right now. So yeah, just get on me on Instagram.
Well, we'll tag you in on this anyway, so you'll be able to find it in the post, mate. We're really looking forward to seeing how this journey goes. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be a colourful one, and let's hope that things go well for you, mate. And we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you for your time today. I appreciate it, mate.